What has made you what you are today? When you think of this notion, you'll think of circumstances, failed relationships, parentals, things like that. Most people. First, I want to start by bringing a little thought to your head from the very beginning before we even get into this talk, so that those who don't finish will at least hear this part. I want you to think about the probability that how much of the pains and aches in your body either originate or are greatly exaggerated because of all of the tension, the anxiety, the panic that you've held within your body. This could be two sides of the coin. It could be because you have deceived someone, whether for good or for bad intention. Maybe you think you're protecting them. Maybe you're doing it because you're upset. Or it could be the other side of the coin. You're worried that once again you'll be betrayed. You hold this energy within you, and this is an instant form of karma. But many people don't seem to realize that. And so they continue on. We have to release these things, and it is a process. It's not something that you can do in 15 minutes. You could try, but likely something that has gone on over a lifetime is going to take a little work to learn to release. If you were to think about the most painful experience in your life, or what you consider to be the most painful experience in your life, either you can think back to when you were feeling it, or as if you are reliving it through someone else. Immediately your body reacts. For me, it's in the stomach area. It's around the navel. Just to be specific and give you that example. For some of you, you may feel it in your throat. You may feel it in your chest. But just feel where these negative energies are attaching to you. Consider working with sound therapy, meditation, or affirmations to work specifically on these areas. Mine originated from the stomach area because I felt unsafe uncared for. There was no protection, or at least I considered that to be the truth. People pulling on my emotions, playing games with them. Now I imagine this, and then I see a cord coming from this area. I thank it for its lesson, and I cut it away and let it know that it is no longer needed. The lesson has been learned. Somewhat related, but on a different topic. Do cut these cords, but I also want you to look back at how some of these start. And again, I'm being very candid about my own experiences, and I'm asking you to do the same. You don't have to tell me, but please be honest with you. What were you shamed about? What were you made to feel guilty about? Let's start there. So, without going into deep detail, I'll just say that as a child, I was very talkative, loved to make friends, but I got in trouble with teachers, with parents, with society in general. You need to be more serious. You need to focus on this or that, which, is true. But it leaves a mark. And then I began to hear things like, everything you say comes from out in left field, or that doesn't make sense, or sneers when I would talk, as if what I was saying was absolutely ridiculous, irrelevant, or even stupid. Over time, I lost my desire to speak. In truth, emotionally, I felt like I was left out in left field. Your pattern or your childhood traumas, and these are the I call it the minor ones, but they're really not, because they stick with you. But these types of things do actually come in and change who you are. They make you become ingenuine. Not intentionally. But see these types of things. For some, it will be about speech. For some, it'll be about certain actions, certain feelings. Maybe somebody wanted you to stop joking all the time. Whatever it is, I want you to dig into that, pull it out, and examine it. Is this still relevant? Do I still need to hold back my jokes? And if so, why? Because chances are you don't. People place these things because they are uncomfortable and they project onto you what you should be. And that's how you lose yourself. One of many ways. So, needless to say, I was never comfortable with being myself anymore. I never felt freedom to be myself, to speak freely, to act freely, to be genuine at any time in my life. And I want to take it a step deeper. This followed me throughout my life. Not only did it happen in the childhood home, it also happened among my social groups, friends. It happened to me at work. But worse, it happened to me in marriage. It's happening to me, truthfully, in my home life even now, where I don't feel 100% free to speak the things that I feel, that I need, that I want. But more specifically, ideas, thoughts, those things I often still, because what I believe and how I think is not typical, I still get the sneers, the huffs, like, oh my God, here we go again. That has led to a feeling of still not being safe. It's bad to have these things happen outside your home, but it hits harder even when you come home. This is still an issue. And it's not a hateful thing at all. It's definitely not. But people are not tuned in enough to understand how deeply that can affect a person. Maybe they feel challenged by your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. Do they dismiss them? Do they dismiss you? Do you feel important? These are many of the things that we need to look at. So then I go a little bit deeper again. Just society in general tells me to be comfortable with myself. Be comfortable with who you are. 10 minutes later, I'm hearing, you sleep too much. You isolate too much. You read too much. You're on the internet too much. You should do things in this way. You should be ashamed that you don't behave in that way. You shouldn't talk to this person. You should talk more to me. Maybe they're saying, you shouldn't wear those kind of clothes, or use that kind of makeup, or date that type of woman or man. And then, to finish off, they say, I love you, and I just want you to be comfortable in yourself. You need to unravel these things, see them for what they are. And I'm not telling you to hate on these people. They're unaware. They don't see it. Of course, there's going to be cases where they do, and it's intentional. But most of the time, it's not. But basically, again, we have people telling me not to be myself. In some cases, we may be shamed for asking questions about our family history, our lineage. Some of us are being body shamed as a joke. All of these things are making us feel unsafe. A lack of freedom. And to make matters worse, we're shamed for distancing ourselves from these people who did this to us through their belief system, through what they want, through what they need to feel safe. So, what I'm trying to say, guys, is I want you to recognize projection versus truth. Do you believe you should behave a certain way because that's what people tell you? Or do you genuinely, in your heart of hearts, believe in the things that you say and do? And then one step further, now I want you to go back. I want you to go back and see in what ways, and be honest. It can hurt, but be honest about how you are projecting onto other people too, regarding their speech, regarding what makes them comfortable. Do you make them feel safe? And in what ways do you not? In what ways do you have problems with other people's self-expression and try to limit it to correlate with your wants, needs, beliefs, or even comfort zone? Dumbing down a person, so to speak, so that you can feel comfortable. Let's work on this, guys. Figure out what it is that makes you feel safe, secure, and happy. And work towards those goals. But to do so, you're going to have to shed the layers of programming that I've just described. What you send out returns to you. And so many times we don't realize what we're sending out. But also, by the flip of that coin, many times we don't understand or realize what we are absorbing that does not belong to us as well. And I challenge you to let that part of yourself go. Bye, guys.